before we get started, I will say that I wanted to address a question that comes up quite a bit regarding the future of cruising and what that will look like, specifically relating to the health and safety protocols that will be implemented because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I wanted to share with all of you that we have already begun developing a comprehensive strategy to enhance our already rigorous health and safety protocols to address the unique public health challenges that are posed by COVID-19. The plan will include things like enhanced screenings, upgraded cleaning and disinfection protocols, and of course, plans for social distancing. Our organization is already consulting with Dr. Gottlieb, which some of you may know already. He is the former commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and a very experienced public health and medical policy expert. He's basically providing us independent public health counsel as we develop the next level of health and safety standards to prepare for when our ships are sailing again. So your Wallace Pearson travel advisor will definitely share details with you once they are finalized, but I wanted to make sure and mention that because I know that it is definitely a question that folks are asking and are waiting for, right? Give me a thumbs up.
But another one great thing to also mention is the fact that you all didn't really have to deal with anyone on board with the problem previously. You're just being very aware and making sure it doesn't ever become a problem. I think that's
Of course.
worth noting.
And we've already, I mean, we've always been known for the safety and health of our guests has always been the number one priority of our company, the guests and crew. I mean, that's always been front and center. And we've always, I think it's also important to know that we've always, throughout the history of, I think, cruising, always worked the entire industry with the CDC in conjunction. But just because of the situation, you know, the environment that we're in, we realize that we have to now evolve and adapt. And there are going to be certain protocols that are going to be incorporated because of, unfortunately, the environment that we are in. And I know that it's not only Regent that is, you know, working on, I know the entire cruise industry is working together to put a plan in place. Another topic that I wanted to address is the question of when our ships will begin sailing again. And this is actually works out nicely that we can talk about this before the presentation, because I'm sure those questions may come up eventually as well. But while we're seeing many positives begin to emerge, cross-border travel is still not viable in the short term. And unfortunately, just yesterday, we made the decision to suspend sailings through July 31st. And I believe the majority of the cruise lines are consistent with that date. We, however, are encouraged by, of course, countries across the world starting to cautiously evaluate plans and implement measures to operate once again. Some countries, you may already know, like Europe, for example, are now allowing cross-border travel with neighboring countries. And Greece just announced this week that their borders will reopen for international tourists beginning July 1st, I believe, I read. So these are all steps in the direction that is needed in order for our beautiful ships to welcome back our loyal guests like you. So while we wait for the world to open up, the goal for today's presentation is to encourage you to continue to dream of travel and, of course, of Regent Seven Seas Cruises. Could everyone see that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So let's go ahead and get started. And before any presentation, although you all are past passengers with us and you're probably very familiar with our brand vision, I still like to share it because it really is our commitment to our guests and, of course, our travel partners when they're entrusting our guests, their clients to sail with us. So I'll just read this off to you. At Regent Seven Seas Cruises, our goal is to deliver an unrivaled experience, allowing guests to immerse themselves and fully discover the world while returning home to the exquisite care and comfort on board with every luxury included. So that is our brand promise. If you notice, we ended with the every luxury included component because that is very much a big success of our brand. Not the number one reason of our success, but the fact that we have everything included has really put us front and center in the sense of that everything is taken care of and our guests don't have to worry about that nickeling and diming that goes on at times on board cruise ships. So because you're all past passengers, I wanted to put together something a little bit different. And since we're in the dreaming phase, I thought we talk about the Seven Seas Splendor. Um, and I'll share with you some itinerary highlights, something that I thought, some itineraries that I picked out for 2021, 2022 that are exciting and new, as well as where ships are going to be positioned for next year. And then there's a couple of new things that I wanted to talk to you, and of course, end with a new and exciting offer and protection plan that we recently just announced. But first, let's get started with the Splendor. It was really important for me to start off and, of course, include the Seven Seas Splendor, especially in a presentation like this, simply because the Splendor came out, the maiden voyage was February 7th. And she did about 2 or 3 voyages before, unfortunately, we had the first round of suspensions. So the Splendor she's brand new, and she's only sailed about 3 times. And when this COVID-19 pandemic started, I would say, blowing up, is when her inaugural season started, and it almost got overshadowed, the Splendor, by what was going on, of course. So I wanted to do her justice and just share with you some visuals on the Splendor. But before that, I wanted to start off with a video that, of course, pertains to her, but more so includes a lot of our crew members who we all know and love and are truly the key success to our brand.
My name is Frank Galzi. I'm the general manager.
Sushan Naik.
I'm Justin Reyes.
My name is Maria Tancredi, and I'm the restaurant manager here on Regent Seven Seas.
I'm a specialty waitress.
Sous chef, second officer, navigation.
I'm assistant cruise director on board. I've worked with Regent now for 8 years.
3.5 years.
10 years.
15 years.
I've been with Regent Seven Seas Cruises since the year 2000.
When it's a new build and you're actually starting everything from scratch, it's something that is challenging, but is also something that is very special.
And that's very exciting to see all the pieces coming together.
It gives you that feeling in your stomach because you're part of something new, part of something big, part of something exciting.
There's hundreds and hundreds of Regent crew pulling together and making the magic happen. It's simply breathtaking.
Day after day, you can see the changes and how the ship is transforming from being just a piece of metal into a beautiful lady that will be ready to cross the ocean and going around the world.
Everything has stepped up another level. It's luxury perfected.
The attention to detail that we have here is second to none within the cruising industry.
You'll find something amazing in every corner of this ship.
Splendor will be a new standard in the luxury cruise market, and our guests are going to appreciate the new luxury while discovering their new home away from home.
When they will come on board, they will say, wow. They might have a little tear of excitement.
They will also get to know and see how happy the crew are going to be, how proud of our ship the crew are going to be.
To have this honor, to do this for everybody who's coming, we're part of the heart of the ship, and you can feel it, and you can feel it coming together.
Regent is a fantastic family for our guests.
It's an amazing experience to be part of the Splendor team, working with professional chefs. They've all been selected to be part of the Splendor.
We are all is family, and also we are teamwork to provide everything to guests.
Working with Captain Serena, she's a fabulous leader. She's an example, not only as a captain, but also as a person.
I'm looking forward to work with Captain Serena to sail the world.
I'm so proud to work together with Captain Serena.
Not only she's a true lady, she's Italian, like me. So what is there not to be proud about?
We can always say that she's one of the best. The Seven Seas Splendor is a very elegant ship. It's very tiny balance between simplicity and being sophisticated. We again push the bar, and that will amaze our guests. I'm very proud and I'm very honored that the company chose me. It's a unique experience in the lifetime of every captain.
Seven Seas Splendor, welcome to the Regent family.
Captain Melanie and Seven Seas Splendor crew, welcome on board.
I would like to wish to Captain Melanie and to the Splendor crew fair winds and calm seas on their maiden voyage.
Congratulations from your sister ship, the Seven Seas Explorer.
Welcome.
Seven Seas Splendor.
Welcome.
Welcome, Seven Seas Splendor.
Welcome, Regent Seven Seas Splendor.
To the family.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family.
Splendor, welcome to our Regent family.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome the Seven Seas Splendor to the Regent family.
So I wanted to share that video. I was at the christening event in February, and that was one of the videos that they showed. And I still get chills when I watch it because it really is such a exciting time for a brand and for any brand where you're introducing a ship. And we're just so proud of the Splendor, and we just can't wait to showcase her, and so more and more folks can see how special she is. So just some facts about the Splendor. For those of you that have sailed on the Explorer, she is the sister ship to the Explorer. So still within that mid-sized ship range as far as the number of guests that she occupies, like the Explorer, 750 guests. And when you look at the number of crew members is 542 crew members. So it's almost a 1-to-1 guest to crew ratio. So that's actually one of the best in the industry. So that personalized service that you all know and love about Regent Seven Seas is even that much more prominent in the Splendor. So just some fun facts that I wanted to share with all of you on the Splendor. The first one, notice that, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The first one that you may have noticed that it was Captain Serena Milani. She's, of course, a female, but something that's exciting about that is she is the first female captain to take launch of a new ship. So we made that announcement last year in International Women's Day, and we were just so proud of that. So I wanted to share that fun fact. And she made a beautiful speech at the christening event, and you really felt like this was such an amazing moment for her. And of course, for all you ladies, we should all be very proud of that, right? The godmother is Christy Brinkley, and she was also at the christening event. And Christy really represents, you know, everything that we feel the Splendor represents, you know, timeless, beauty, luxury perfected, as we like to see, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So we're very proud of Christy Brinkley being the godmother of the Splendor. And then some other fun facts that you'll see in the images that I'll share with you here shortly. There's over 500 large crystal chandeliers found throughout the ship, and just truly add to her beauty. Over an acre of Italian marble is found throughout the ship, with almost half of that being Carrara marble from Italy. And then the ship in itself is a work of art from bow to stern. But when you look at the art collection on board, we invested over $5 million in the artwork on board the Splendor, and it is a mixture of art. I think there's over 200 different artists from both the 20th to 21st century, or from both the 20th and 21st century. So you'll, again, not only is the artwork incredible, but the placement of the artwork is very meaningful as well, and you'll see that in some of the images that I'll share with you. So starting off, let's see if I can go to the next slide. So as you're entering the ship, you are going to see this beautiful atrium area. And I mentioned that the tagline of the ship was luxury perfected. And an example of that is actually in this image right here. If you've been on the Explorer, you may remember that it also has a beautiful atrium, but the staircase is actually, as you're coming down that main staircase, your view when you reach the bottom is the elevators here in the back, where let me go back there, sorry about that, where on the Splendor, we actually flip the staircase. So as you're coming down, one of the most beautiful areas of the ship is the entrance to the Compass Rose dining room. So again, just an example of luxury perfected there. This is an image of the Coffee Connection area. And you'll notice that the Splendor has a much more feminine feel to her than perhaps the Explorer did. So there's a lot more whites, grays with gold accents versus the warm colors that the Explorer has. So something that we did in the Coffee Connection area, we found that the Coffee Connection, which is on board all of our ships, is truly the heart of the ship. This gives people an area that we found that they can connect, and we wanted to enhance that and improve upon that. So one of the things that we did on the Splendor is we added an alfresco option in the Coffee Connection area. So there's now an outdoor deck, so you can grab your lattes, your cappuccino with your paper and sit out deck. And we actually incorporated this an alfresco option on the Explorer as well when she went into dry dock back in October of 2019. So this is an entrance to an image of the entrance. So as you're coming down that beautiful atrium staircase, this is going to be one of your views, the entrance to the Compass Rose. And of course, as you all know, we have an open seating dining concept. And this is an image of the beautiful Compass Rose. And again, when you look at the amount of detail that went into this beautiful ship, that chandelier that you see at the top, just a little fun fact that I added there as far as a highlight, there's 870 illuminated glass panels. The chandelier itself weighs over 6,000 pounds, and it was made from hand-blown glass, and it took 3 craftsmen 10 days to actually install that one chandelier that you see. I can't point to it up here. So remember we talked about the artwork and the placement of the artwork. One of my favorite pieces that you've probably seen, whether it be on the internet or in any publication that maybe mentioned the Seven Seas Splendor, is in the entrance of the Pacific Rim, which is our Pan-Asian specialty restaurant. There is a floor-to-ceiling dragon that you're seeing there, and it really takes up pretty much the whole entrance of Pacific Rim. You literally have to walk around it to get into the restaurant, but you can't see it in this image, but it's holding a pearl in its hand, and the idea behind it is good luck as you're walking into the restaurant. So I call it the statement piece. It's one of my favorite, probably my favorite pieces found on board the ship. And then, of course, like the Explorer, I wanted to also share that there is the Culinary Arts Kitchen on board the Splendor as well, with 16 individual state-of-the-art cooking stations. And just like the Explorer, we also have our Explorer Gourmet tours that you will be able to take advantage of. So these would be, go with one of the chefs on board to a local market and pick up exotic ingredients, and come back on board and cook a meal in the Culinary Arts Kitchen. As far as the suites on board the ship, they're going to range anywhere between 236 square feet up to our largest real estate at sea for Regent, the Regent Suite, which is 4,400 square feet. So this is an image that you're seeing here. This is the dining room of the Seven Seas, of this Regent Suite on the Splendor. And this is an image of the master bedroom. Little fun fact on the bed. of the master bedroom. I've been told that the cost of it is about $200,000, and the reason being it was by the renowned Hashton brand, which is located or headquartered in Shopping, Sweden. But basically, what makes it so special is that it's made out of horsetail hair. So, and then this is an image of the bathroom, the master bathroom that also doubles as a personal spa within the Regent suite. So guests who are booking this suite get everything from first class air, private car and driver at every port, unlimited spa packages that can be conducted in their suite. And then, of course, we have our very popular penthouse suites that our guests truly loved on the Explorer. We've incorporated similar design for the penthouse suite on the Splendor. And what guests love about this particular suite are these partitions, because it creates the environment of you have, for example, Mr. who likes to sleep in, Mrs. to wake up early, and it's conducive to that type of scenario. Another example of luxury perfected specifically in the penthouse suite is we have doubled the size of the penthouse suite on the Splendor. For those of you that sailed on the Explorer penthouse suite accommodations, I believe the square footage of that closet was about 25 square feet. So now on the Splendor, it's a little over 50 square feet. So that was one of the feedbacks that we received on the Explorer that I'm thrilled to share we've enhanced in the Splendor. And then this is just an image of the concierge suite accommodations that our guests also enjoy. And you can't see it in this image, but if you've sailed on the Explorer, you'll know that it is actually, the bed is facing the veranda, and that's a new design for us that we introduced on the Explorer that also now the Splendor has. The concierge suite itself has, of course, the walk-in closet, the shower and the separate tub, and it's about 356 square feet on the Splendor and, of course, the Explorer. For those of you that may be interested in sailing in the Explorer, I kind of threw in there some 2020 dates, mainly because she will be in our backyard starting this winter. But if you'll notice, November 13th, she's doing a crossing from Barcelona into Miami, and she will be doing 7 to 14 night Eastern and Western Caribbeans out of Miami between November and March of next year. Where she will be positioned in the summer of 2021, she'll start off in the springtime, where she will be doing some med cruises, but the majority of the summer she will be doing 7 to 12 night Northern Europe itineraries. So cruises like the British Isles, Western Europe, and of course our Baltic itineraries. I wanted to again give you just an overview of what our ships are doing mainly next year, and just highlight some exciting itineraries. I will say, with the introduction of the Splendor, that gives us the flexibility to now put the Explorer, which a lot of our past passengers know and love, to areas that she's never been. So an example of that is the Explorer will now be doing our Alaska season for 2021. So there'll be 7-night north and southbound itineraries available for her next year. And then once she leaves Alaska, so now we're going now here a little bit into the fall of 21, she's going to be doing Asia itineraries with, now share two with you in the next slide, but she'll doing a round trip Japan itineraries, Vietnam and Thailand itineraries. And then the winter of 2021 into 2022, she will be doing our Australia, New Zealand itineraries, of course, featuring the Great Barrier Reef, Gold Coast, and New Zealand itineraries. So I wanted to just mention these two itineraries that the Explorer will be doing next October. And you'll see that the first one is October 11th. It's a 12-night round trip Tokyo itinerary. And then the second one is the 10-night round trip Tokyo itinerary, October 23rd. She is doing a round trip Tokyo itinerary in April of next year, but I didn't want to mention that one because that one is sold out, and I know that a lot of folks want to do it during the cherry blossom season. We do have that available, and you can certainly be put on a wait list if you're interested. But I wanted to offer you options because these two are some great itineraries, and I hear Japan in the fall is just as gorgeous. So moving along to the Voyager, in the early summer and fall of 2021, she's going to be doing Eastern Mediterranean itineraries featuring Turkey and the Greek Isles and Holy Land itineraries. In the late fall of 2021, she's going to be doing our Africa and Arabia itineraries, including a return to the Seychelles, Mauritius Island, and Reunion Island. I put TBA on the Seychelles just because recently there was some new developments of something that might be effective for next year, but of course that's still to be determined. And then followed by the winter of 2021 into 2022, she will be doing our very popular round trip Cape Town itineraries in the December of 21 timeframe. And then she will cross over and do if I'm not mistaken, it's a Cape Town to Rio itinerary during the holidays of 2021. The itinerary that I highlighted for this one, where she's doing the Africa and Arabia itinerary, she's doing the 22-night Abu Dhabi to Cape Town itinerary, October 30th of 2021, if anyone's interested in that itinerary. And then one South America itinerary that she's doing in the winter of 2022, January 31st to be exact, is a scenic Antarctica cruise. So she's doing a Great Chilean Fjords itinerary, but she's also cruising around Deception Island, Paradise Bay, and Half Moon Bay, and that's January 31st, 2022, if anyone's interested in it. It's a 19-night Santiago to Buenos Aires itinerary. Moving along to the Mariner, in the spring and summer of 21, she will be doing our Mediterranean itineraries. And we have not been to the Black Sea. I believe it was 2014 was the last time that we did the Black Sea itinerary. So we're doing it again in 2021. And it's actually, it's all called Romania, Bulgaria, and Ukraine. And that particular itinerary, if anyone's interested, is June 20th of 2021. And it's a 12-night Istanbul to Athens itinerary. And then in the fall, she's going to cross the Atlantic before cruising the Amazon River, and then of course doing going through the Panama Canal and en route to San Francisco, where she will start our 2022 World Cruise. So our 2022 World Cruise is available to open, as well as its segments. We're calling it a World Cruise, and I probably should put up the itinerary here for you to see, but it's more we call it the Pacific Rim, where it really is just solely focused on the Pacific. So it'll leave San Francisco, go to Hawaii, the South Pacific, do Tahiti, Australia, New Zealand, and then very heavily Southeast Asia itinerary, and then eventually it'll cross over and do a southbound Alaska cruise. And then last but not least, our Seven Seas Navigator. In the spring of 2021, she will cruise the Amazon and the Caribbean before going up to New York, and she will be doing our a Bermuda cruise during that time. And then the summer of 21, she will be doing our Northern Europe itineraries, including a Grand Arctic voyage, where it's a round trip New York itinerary that visits Greenland, Iceland, the Baltic, Arctic, and of course the famous capitals of Europe. You move into the fall, the Navigator of fall of 21 is now where we're at. She will be doing our Canada, New England itineraries during that time. And then the winter of 21, she will be doing Caribbean itineraries alongside the Seven Seas Splendor. So that gives you a little overview of where our ships are going to be positioned. I wanted to touch upon a few new things that we have. We're always looking at ways to enhance our current shore excursion offerings. And one of the things that we recently announced was our new Go Local tours. And basically, these tours are more of an immersive experience that we're offering our guests. So go to the countryside of Andalusia to a family-owned goat farm and learn their traditions of making cheese. Go fishing with the locals of Portofino. So more immersive experiences is what can be found through our Go Local tours. And I will say that some of these tours are part of our our included shore excursions, and some of them are part of our Regent Choice excursions. But those are available for the majority of our itineraries. Something also exciting that I wanted to mention that it's fairly new, but it pertains to something that I want to end the presentation with, is we are now able to use shipboard credits pre-cruise. So if you want to use a shipboard credit to purchase your Regent Choice excursions, that's something that can now be done prior to the cruise. You don't have to actually wait till you get on board. So I know that a lot of our guests were asking for this. So I'm thrilled to share that there has been a system enhancement where that can now be done. And lastly, I wanted to touch upon an offer that we just recently announced. And we found that there's a good mix of folks out there. Some are just are waiting to see, how it all plays out before they book, but others are ready to book or they have a FCC and are waiting for us to come out with a promotion. So we basically developed this promotion for folks who are ready to book. And of course, book with giving them some reinsurance as well. So our Return with Regent promotion, there's a few components to it. One of them being on all sailings through 2022, we are offering $1,000 shipboard credit. In addition to that, we're offering a 50% reduced deposit. But the main component of this offer is our Regent Reassurance offering that you can receive through this promotion. And basically, Regent Reassurance is a fairly new policy that we created because of the uncertain times that we are in. And we wanted to give our guests the confidence to book a cruise, but also give them time to be able to sail with confidence and not be financially burdened should the situation change closer into their sailing. So with that, this Regent Reassurance policy basically gives guests the ability to cancel up to 15 days prior to their travel date, and they basically will receive 100% future cruise certificate that they can use on any sailing through 2022. So this is the most flexible policy that we've ever come out with, that really, again, is to bring confidence and reassurance to our guests and give that flexibility. So that is also a component of the offer that you will receive. And this is, again, on any sailing that you book through December 31st, 2022. And with that said, that's all I have for you today. I'm sure we have some questions that you all might have.
See what kind of questions you have, and we'll make sure if there's any questions that you have that don't get brought up right now, obviously any of us at Wallace Pearson Travel will be happy to answer it, or reach out to Nicole if we don't know the answer.
And I also, while folks are thinking of questions, I wanted to mention that the new promotion is also combinable with Wallace Pearson groups that you have as well. So I know you have several sailings in which you have shipboard credits up to 500, and a price advantage. This is combinable with those sailings as well, and of course with your virtuoso amenities also. So if you folks happen to pick a sailing that's a Wallace Pearson group, it happens to be a virtuoso sailing, and in addition, they take advantage of this promotion. It ends up being a great value.
I have a question. We're looking at the transatlantic crossing from Miami to Lisbon in April of 2022. So my question is, so if we are going to make a deposit for the 2022 cruise, is that still a 50% deposit for something that far out?
That's correct. Under this promotion, it's a 50% deposit. Great question. But yes, the promotion is in addition to the shipboard credit and the Regent reassurance, it's a 50% reduced deposit on any sailing through December 2022. Now, keep in mind, itineraries right now are out through April of 22.
Right.
But the reason we're including 2022 as a whole is because if you do have to cancel prior to those 15 days prior to sailing, you can apply that FCC to, if itineraries have already been released, which they probably would, for 2022 for a sailing in November of 22.
We have a question. What is the ship that is doing the Baltic in 2021? Is it the new Splendor?
The Splendor will be doing it. So the Explorer's was doing it this year, and the Splendor will be doing it in 2021.
But we were booked on the Explorer, and it's now docked where we live.
Yeah.
Lucky you guys. I know, I heard.
We can't get on it, and they can't get off. So it is the Splendor that would be the Baltic in 2021.
The Splendor, yes. And actually, I was communicating with Angie yesterday because we were talking about the Explorer being in your backyard, and I thought, such a tease, right, to have her so close to home. I know, but yes, it will be the Splendor next year.
Thank you.
What ship sails in the South Pacific?
So the Mariner will be doing the South Pacific for 21 and 22 as well.
Just a comment.
Yes.
Okay, just a comment.
Yes, please.
We sailed on the Splendor last February from Miami to San Diego, where it never left. And I just want to say the pictures do not do it justice. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, thank you for saying that. So you were one of the lucky ones then, that were one of the few that got the opportunity to see her. She's a beauty, and you're absolutely right. The images do not do her justice at all.
Magnificent.
Thank you for that comment. All right. Any other questions? No. Well, thank you so much to Eric, Angie, Angela for this opportunity. It's so nice to, sit in. It's definitely out of my comfort zone to do this, this way. But one thing I've learned about all of this, I'm sure all of you have learned the same, is you got to adapt, right? And I think
Nicole, great. One thing that's nice to notice is that we do have people not only local that would have probably joined us this evening here on Amelia Island, but we have people in Pennsylvania and Jersey. Yay, Mommy! And so I think that's one really exciting part of this, is that we don't have to leave out the clients that couldn't drive to be with you tonight. And I think we're going to continue doing this moving forward with you. Do the ones in person for those that live here, but we really want to be able to offer this to our clients that aren't local, because it's invaluable. So thank you so much for going outside of your comfort zone tonight, because I think it's really great.
I will say that I want to thank you all for your loyalty. On behalf of our entire team, your support is invaluable and greatly appreciated. So thank you for that.